What's up guys? UPiGiPiG here. In this episode, I will share some tips for using Mortar big deck. In this deck, you cannot destroy tower by one single push. Mortar has just 44 DPS and Miner is also just 53 DPS. So, what you need to try is chip the tower until it's down. Any one of the chip damage is important. Spear Goblin on the bridge. Spell to both tower and troops. Mortar hit to the tower. Minor chip damage. All are required. There are many substitutions in the deck. If your miner is in low level, you may use Hog Rider instead. Poison can replace Fireball. Prince can replace Rascals. Any 2 elixir spell can replace Barbarian Barrel. Dart Goblin can replace Spear Goblins. And Minion Horde can replace Bats. They all works well in Mortar big deck. This deck is really free to play. Tips 1. Mortar position. The best defensive mortar position is 1 tile from the bridge and 1 tile from the edge of arena. Mortar will not be distracted by tank easily. Some siege player also use tornado to pull the tank out of mortar range. You can punish your opponent if he put tank behind the tower. The other position is in the middle and beside the river. You can use this in 3 conditions. First, you are defending Hog Rider. Before Hog Rider destroy the mortar, mortar will has 1 hit to opponent tower. Since the position is far from your tower, you will have enough time to defend. Second condition is that opponent has big spell like lightning, poison or fireball. You can avoid opponent's spell value. The third condition is that one of your tower is down and you need to attack at that side. You can predict opponent troops' position easier as he can only put the troops in 2 positions only. Tips 2. Defensive mortar. One of the conditions to use defensive mortar is that you need to defend big tank like giant or golem. You can put mortar 3 tile in front of king tower and slightly to the opposite lane. The tank will be attacked by both towers. Once the tank is close to mortar, mortar will help on hitting the support units. The other condition is that your opponent is attacking you and your elixir is behind. Mortar is a good defending build with splash damage. You can have positive elixir trade by using Mortar defend. Mortar is also good for defending 3 musketeer. You can put mortar to the side, which opponent tower has more hit point. 2 musketeers are always split to that side. Mortar can tank for musketeer damage and has splash damage to musketeer. As mortar is a good defensive building, you may put defensive mortar if your card rotation is not good. Tips 3. Using miner. Although the deck name is Mortar big deck, miner is your primary win condition. In some matchup, you need to use mortar defensively. Miner become a reliable damage source in your deck. You need to change the miner position over time to avoid opponent defend your miner successfully. Use your miner when you have some defending troops alive. Tips for prediction miner. This is a gameplay from Midfinger. He used Minion Horde bait at the baby dragon. Then he tried to predict baby dragon position and tank for Minion Horde. Although miner position is not good this time, we can try to use miner to tank splash damage units. Similar trick can be used in counter-attack. Send your miner to the last position the splash unit appeared, your miner may able to catch them. Tips 5. Prediction spell. You may use miner in same position so that opponent will defend you at the same place. Then you can use prediction fireball to maximize the spell in miner value. This is useful especially in double elixir time. Tip 6. Remember spell. Well, it is basic but especially important in this deck. Try to avoid spell value for your opponent as the troop HP is low. Use Goblin Gang bait at the log at left, and then use Rascals defend at right. Rascals bait at the log this time, and put Spear Goblin defend at right. Dart Goblin in the middle so bats put at the left. Tip 7. Defend cheap. Since your troop can be killed by spell easily, try to bait out the spell by cheap unit. Remember, you can play counter-attack by Miner or Barbarian Barrel after defense. Tips 8. Starting play. You can have many starting play. The best starting are Mortar in the front, Spear Goblin in the front, or send Miner to tower safe position. If you don't have these 3 cards in starting hand, you may split Goblin Gang in the back. Don't put Goblin Gang at the front at the beginning, as he will lose a lot elixir if opponent has splash troops. Split bats in the back is another option. Miner can support the side which don't have opponent troops. Tips 9. The most important tips. Subscribe my channel and get the tips regularly. Let's check out the decision making for top player in following replays. Safe spot for Miner as starting move. It is easy to catch Miner at the beginning. Night Witch after King Tower, and we can use Mortar now. And Lion ignore the left tower damage and try to make a big push. Good poison and good fireball. Mortar with Rascals ready. And hit for Mortar. Giving pressure by Mortar at left and damages are shared by 2 towers. Send Miner to tank and Rascal Girls DPS continuously. Good position for Dart Goblin to defend both lane. Rascals tank and gave value to the defending troops. Good position for Dart Goblin again. Counter-attack by Mortar with Rascals ready. Well play for number 1 Mortar bait player. GG.